Are you a busy woman who at times struggles with reducing your daily stress? Do you know that you need to slow down but do not know how? If you're looking at reducing your daily stress, you're in the right place. My name is Denise Eckert, and I welcome you to the Calm Your Daily Stress podcast. I just love interviewing guests so they can share their stress-reducing tips and techniques with you. Now, if you find this podcast helpful, please share it with someone who struggles with stress, because lowering our stress will make us a better person, a happier partner, mom, friend, neighbor, etc. And the best part is happiness is contagious. Enjoy this episode. Hi there, my name is Denise Eckert, and I love coming on here and sharing different things to help you reduce that stress in your life and create a happier lifestyle. And today I have Radavie, and she's second time on this podcast because I just love her work so much. And she's a servant of inner peace and an emissary of messages from the divine sparks, the essence of her soul. She's devoted to serving those who are ready to unveil inner peace in the midst of our chaotic world and to become liberated from human conditioning. Now, Radavie is devoted to serving those who are ready to liberate from human conditioning and live in inner peace in everyday life. Well, welcome, Radavie.
Oh, thank you, Denise. It's so great to be back here with your listeners too, and you.
And just even saying your introduction, just saying the words inner peace makes you just feel calmer.
Oh, yeah, because it's possible. And Denise, I can honestly say that I could never talk about inner peace unless I have experienced it. I live inner peace. And coming from where I have come from, anybody can do it. And that's why I open, and that's why my book is I'm so passionate for people to start asking themselves, who am I? Why am I here? I remember I asked that question when I was 5 years old. Deeply, I'm a very introspective person. Man, I remember exactly where I am, and I often sit and wonder, why am I here? So, and that question was in the mystery until I started to move and walk and go through the hard knocks, my conditioning, my programs. And as soon as those slowly break away, the mystery slowly unveils itself to another part, another area, until I finally got to the place where I can say I am grateful for life. And I don't expect people to say I'm grateful for life until you can look at all of it and say, what? That bump in the road served me so well. I gained so much wisdom from it. We all have the opportunity, and and we all know that we can. I want to tell all your listeners, yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Well, that's amazing that at the age of 5 that you were so in tune with what's going on in your world. That's now, can we talk a little bit? What do you mean by our conditioned selves?
Good question. One of the things that we don't remember is when we came into this world, we are on many different dimensions. We got plopped in a third dimension where everything is physical, material, and have a whole new way of seeing life. So the conditioning, so back to this innocent baby, no language, we began to be trained in the ways of all the adults around us, starting with our parents. And the only thing, and I want to bring it back to everybody to take a deep breath, really, and listen, pause. The only thing we knew was love. Love. And I knew years ago we came here to give love and to receive it back. When we are approached with anything that's unloving. And it's not because they didn't love us, it's because their frequency in the way they're treating us is not the essence of love. And then, on top of that, if you do something that they don't approve of, the simplest thing they would do is take one hard look at you. If that is all they did, but you would withdraw because that look has a vibration about it that is not loving. And they mean well. They're living from what they know. And so we are now having this program. We're programmed over, we're veiled over with their programs, and we begin to forget that we are this divine self, this essence of our soul, and begun to live in the way that everyone else, all the adults, are living in. And we want to fit in. We want to be like everybody else. But we don't remember what we were before we were veiled over. So that's it. We have moved into the stream of sameness. And that is what the condition is. And the thing is, Denise, when in my wounded childhood, I walked away from my childhood. I just disconnected. But when I had, in a mysterious, mystical way, I had to face that which I walked away from. I was guided to go through my own self healing. So there was a lot of tears and a lot of release. And that's when I understood about human conditioning. And I knew then that I am here to help humanity to break that portal of human conditioning. And we're all here with agreements. Every one of us has something we agreed to do. And it may be just simple, like live from being a kind person. But do we think that's simple? It's really not simple because to be a kind person, we have to live from our hearts. We are always busy living from our thinking, our mind, our past, or our future. So that's why life becomes difficult at times because we have to walk over those blocks to get to what it is we're here to do.
And that is a huge thing. That is really, really changing the way you live. Because I know for myself, I grew up in a European household, and children were supposed to be seen, not heard, and you were supposed to do this, 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 and this. And it's not the only culture that is like that. And if you didn't do this, this, and this, then you were not a good girl. You were an outcast. You're no good. I remember being called garbage once. And just because I wanted to do things my way, I mean, over time, do you see people raising their children with more of an open heart than what we grew up with?
Yeah, I know, Denise, we're heavily programmed. And I can say the pain of someone else who was just screamed at or verbally abused is as painful as yours because the only thing that they know is that right now they are not loved. Love is the most important thing. And if I'm not loved, I have an idea that I must be not good enough to be loved. And one of the things that human being wants, desires, is connection. One of the most important things is to feel connected. And when we're being treated like how you said it, Denise, or how my mother told me I came to kill her because she had a bad time of being birthed was very, very difficult. These things are painful. But one of the things I'm really asking the listeners to do. It's not about you. It's not about you when you're treated like that. It's about them. It's about their lack of love that is so demanding and controlling, like you, Denise, so demanding and controlling, do this. So there's no space to look about who you are. The heart, they're not in the heart. They're in a mindset. And that's what most people are in a mindset. And those of us who have come through the deepest part of it, we're not here to point or figure or look or in judgment. We are here to open our hearts and serve others because we remember what it was like. We know. And that's what makes the difference between the construct of what's going on the planet now, the chaos, and those who are wanting to serve others in love. And the reason the chaos is there is because they have forgotten their divine essence, their soul's essence. They don't even know it exists. They're caught in the program.
Just a quick break because I need to share this with you. In the past, I had a lot of pain in my shoulder, my knees, my ankle, and I know it's from my background of playing baseball. I used to be a carpenter, from driving, and even working on my computer. I tried everything, and still I'd be on the couch with my heating pad in pain. Well, lately a friend introduced me to a new product called NutraSwish. Things changed for me. I'm not kidding you, within days, no pain. And now I've been taking it for a few months, and what a difference. NutraSwish is all about glutathione. I didn't even know what glutathione was. Well, you know what? I sure do now. If you're experiencing pain, especially nerve damage, I encourage you to take a look. You can find out more in the show notes or go to www.therelaxationlounge.info and there's a tab above that says pain. Back to the show. Now, can you explain a little bit more what your soul's essence is?
Yes. The soul's essence is, okay, I'm going to say from the book that I wrote, because it's everybody's book, as I was telling you, Denise, is after serving thousands of people for over 30 years, helping them to heal their wounded child, my soul said, all right, you have accomplished that. We're going to give you the next piece to it. The next piece to it was vision I saw. I just, instead of the vision of this little boy, the messages I received. And the vision was, we are here to help the adults, but first they have to take us out of confinement. I knew exactly what that meant. We're locked away because we're living from our conditioned self. That's what it was. And so the messages began to come, and they actually told me that they're not wounded children, they're divine sparks. And the messages are coming from the essence of our soul. The divine sparks, the message is multidimensional. I will not repeat exactly what they said. I have to take the book up to express one of their messages, because if I miss a word, I'm going to shift the frequency. They're yearning messages. But one of the things they said, the deepest pain that we have is that our love can't be shared in the world. And then they repeat, that's the deepest pain. So the essence of our soul is when we unveil all of the conditioning, all of the mask that we have worn trying to be like everybody else. And we get to recognize what we really are. We are living from that essence of our soul, because it's only the soul that came into this body, and so it's a formless, non-physical form that is here, and we are in my world. We are guided by our soul. When you open, there's another way where we are guided by our fear and the ego and the mental state. But when we get to a certain point, we know we can feel it. And that's where love and the peace comes in. We temporarily feel love, feel peace when we are in the conditioned world, but it doesn't last. I'm sure everybody can say, can acknowledge that. And love, when we feel that love in that world, is when we fall in love with someone, or we feel so excited because we got a raise in our job, or something good happened to us, and we recognize it doesn't last. Because after a while, the mind will replace that with another task or another issue that we have to overcome. And that's why when we get here and we look at everything in a less identification, we no longer identify with everything that's going on. You with me there? So we're we're moving away from personhood, but more into the state of our divine self, which is the soul's essence, the soul.
Can you
Oh,
talk a little bit about your book, which is Awaken?
yes, to inner peace. Yeah, yes, it's, and I said to you, Dennis, the book is for everybody. It's not my book. I feel sort of uncomfortable saying my book. I don't own it. And I'm touched because I'm reminded right now that I'm a messenger for the book. This is what my soul agreed to do. And it took me many, many, many years to recognize that and to own it. And I think I had to get to a certain place for me to be able to own it and integrate it. So I'm fully integrated with my book. So the book starts about our program self, our conditioning self. And so that's why I'm saying it's our book. We have gone through that. We are all have been struggling and stumbling and probably many times think, why me? Why me? And so it moves into that. And then it begins to, and the messages of the divine spark goes in between that. So you you're reading what you're living as, and you are now coming to see what you really are, your soul's essence. And then on top of that, the book does not leave you with that. So you said, okay, no, I got it to understand. What do I do now? There are freedom exploration, and I call it meditation, but it's like discovery. And there are 12 of them in the book. And what I want to do, Denise, is to offer the listeners one of them on my website. Yes. And the book is on Amazon. And it's a book that is evergreen. We will never move away from that because we fully understand all of what is it. It's about us human beings who have struggled through the fear to come into that place of love and peace. So,
And I love that because that's without judgment. It's without a lot of different things, like without jealousy, without comparison.
mhm.
There's a lot of things that are in our world or that we've grown up with or been conditioned with that are normal.
Oh, yes.
that we think is normal.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. And we'll sit here judging, and you usually get your friends to agree with you. Can you imagine what happened to that person over there? Oh, what's. And in politics, it's another thing. So it's just, it's crazy out there. So actually, evolution, really, see, evolution is an inside job.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there that's going to fix us.
And you also mentioned before we talked, there is a meditation that you're offering to people as well.
Yeah, that's the one I said, which the freedom exploration, which I use the word meditation, but it's really a discovery. You really settle down and open as much as you can a blank page up here, not thinking about it, but being in it, being somewhere outside of your mind. And you will hear, and it teaches you your essence is a light of awareness. Without the light of awareness, because that came before a physical body, or a soul came before a physical body. That's the essence that came in. It's the light of awareness that allow you to see things out there. That light of awareness, your innocence that you came in with, when you were hungry, you didn't feel I'm hungry. There was a sensation that happened, and you're expressing from the sensation. So, and you saw everything as part of you. Like the little 3-year-old boy I met in a restaurant one day, I was talking to him, and I asked him, so your mom is there and she's pregnant. And I said, so you're going to have a little brother or a sister? What is that? And he quietly said, I have a brother. And his mother gently said, he's talking about the dog. Okay. I knew that. I was excited about that because I actually got to witness one who is not yet identified as something other than outside of the oneness. The meditation really holds the space to let you realize that what you're seeing out there, you could only see it from that awareness in here. It's like, for instance, let's use the computer screen, a simple piece of thing that we take for granted. Yet the computer screen is what we can see things through, good and bad and upset. Now, the divine essence is the screen. It has no attention, no feeling about what is shown on the screen. Yet we jump into identifying what is happening on the screen. You see that? So we become the character on the screen and leave behind that which allows us to see all of that. We are the awareness. We are that which allows you to see the world in the way in which you do it.
Wow. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. Now, do you have any final words of wisdom coming from Radavie? Something that we can leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I know. I just, and I'm touched to tears. I just want everyone to know that you are not alone. This physical form is very material. You're not alone. And we are all connected from that essence, the spark, to the soul's essence is like a spark, divine spark. It's from the one flame of the divine. Just imagine there is this big flame and all the sparks are flying out. And those are our soul's essence. Can you imagine that? That we're all together, we're all one from the one place? Possibility is there for you to really get it. And I want to leave you with planting that seed to think about and to know that There's more to you than they ever reminded you of because they forgot.
Wow. Thank you so much. I just give myself a minute here.
Oh,
Very heavy.
mm.
So wherever you're watching or listening to this, I will have Radavie's information. If you have any questions, please reach out and ask her questions. She's a wonderful woman. So thank you so much for listening today. And I'm leaving you a gentle reminder to slow down and enjoy life.
Oh, if you don't mind, there's one more thing I want to offer them.
Sure.
Take my 20-minute complimentary guidance. When you get on my website, the first page has your gift of the meditation, and it also has an invitation for that 20 minutes.
Sounds wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Calm Your Daily Stress podcast. Have you ever wondered what your stress personality is? Are you a self-care goddess or a burnout queen? Well, you can find out by taking my free quiz. You just need to go to www.stressquiz.info to find out where you rank. Sending you love and peace, and I'll see you in the next episode.